key benefits for expanding your global e-commerce business to the U.S. with a full U.S. presence. It's more than just forming a U.S. company. Are you ready to explode your e-commerce business into the U.S. market? Are you already selling globally, doing millions of dollars of sales a year, and you realize the U.S. is the largest consumer market in the world, and you're ready to make that transition, and you're concerned about how to maximize the U.S. opportunity and work with U.S. retailers? As you probably know, U.S. retailers are going to want to work with a U.S. company based in the U.S., not a foreign company. And when you are selling on Amazon or Walmart in the United States online, let's say you're doing $1 million a month in sales, the opportunity to get into retail outlets and sell to the masses could potentially 10x your overall revenues if you have the right premium product that'll make those retailers money. Whether it's Walmart, Walgreens, or Home Depot, there's an incredible opportunity to expand your global e-commerce business in the United States. A lot of people move to the step to just form a U.S. company and go from there, but there's a lot more strategic insights required, and I'm going to go through those steps for you. Hello, my name is Scott Letourneau. I'm a U.S. certified tax advisor. I'm an Amazon agency and Shopify partner, and since 1997, I've set up thousands of U.S. companies, helped people launch their business with confidence. I've spoken in multiple countries around the world about this entire process. The game has changed in 2024 when it comes to doing business in the United States. There's more compliance, there's more restrictions and requirements to be an official U.S. company that can do business in the U.S. What that means is even when it comes to banking, there's more requirements for verification when it comes to a U.S. address and the identity of the individual on the account. Many times this is reflected by utility bills and other requirements that come into play. Now we have the BOI report, which is from FinCEN, an organization that looks like from FinCEN, which looks at international money laundering, things of that nature. When you combine the BOI report with these other requirements from banks and other online verification steps, it's important to have the right U.S. presence, and in the big picture, of course, you want to know the overall impact on your ability to do business in the United States and for tax purposes, of course. So let's look at the 7 benefits of expanding your business in the United States with a U.S. company with the right presence. Number 1 is to develop trust with the U.S. market. The U.S. consumer understands that 95% of products are made out of China. U.S. consumers want to work with U.S. companies. Even though they understand that the products are developed and manufactured out of China, their goal is to work with a U.S. company. Even though it's Amazon and they understand Amazon, they can easily do refunds and returns. They want to work with a U.S.-based company. So when you are selling on Amazon and somebody looks at the sold by line, and it has a branded name, and they click on that, it goes to the next page where they can see more details on reviews about your product. And if they scroll down, they can see your company information, your business name, and your business address. If that's a long Chinese name or a long Chinese address, or if that's an address in Australia, Germany, or another country around the world, that induces doubt in a U.S. consumer that would rather work with a U.S.-based company, again, even though they're buying through Amazon. The same applies to Walmart. So it's in your best interest to position your U.S. company properly so the U.S. consumer will have the most amount of trust possible, which is buying through Amazon and having a U.S.-based company. Also, having a U.S.-based company is very important when you work with U.S. retailers. There's several things that come into mind. Number 1 is from the legal requirements, a U.S. retailer is going to want to work with a U.S.-based company when it comes to contracts and negotiation. It's very difficult to work with a foreign company. Can it happen? Yes, it can, but it's much easier to work with their U.S. subsidiary, so it's in your best interest to have a U.S. company to make these contracts and agreements flow smoothly so you can move to the next step in working with U.S. retailers. So the big question to ask yourself is, what would it mean to your business if you could secure a contract with a major retailer like Walmart, Home Depot, Walgreens to sell your products in their stores? Again, it starts with a proper U.S. presence for your company, not one that you set up just quickly online and get address and then get things set up, then find out within 60 to 90 days your bank account is shut down, your merchant account's not viable, your address wasn't proper for what you wanted to accomplish. Scale like a pro. When you have a U.S. company and you are properly established with the right presence so your account can be verified and up and running, you are in a position to work with U.S. retailers that could potentially 10x your revenue. So if you're doing $100,000 a month, that means you can go to $1 million a month. $1 million a month could be $10 million a month in sales, work with retailers that could be nationwide. This all starts with having, of course, a successful product, a premium product, being very successful online and showing a mass appeal for your product, and of course, being able to execute a contract by having a US-based company with everything set in place that's rock solid, protecting your wealth in your home country. You worked very hard to develop your e-commerce business in your home country. You may be selling in other countries throughout the world with an entity based from your home country or in a taxing jurisdiction that's beneficial to you. So all your wealth is in one basket through that one legal entity. The huge advantage of forming a U.S. company in a very stable economic environment is that you now are protecting half of your assets. Think about it. Half of your e-commerce business is now in a separate company. Yes, you may be thinking, well, I like it to be simple. Well, remember, simple and asset protection is inversely related. I work with many tax and legal groups when it comes to protecting your assets, and putting everything in one basket doesn't make sense. It would be like going to your financial planner and say, we're going to put all your investment capital in one stock. Nobody would ever do that, but most of you do that with your business. Everything is through one legal entity, and you are rolling the dice if your entity had a major lawsuit, and it's going to be much better to have a U.S. company that can be separated from your foreign company operating, so you'd be protected in case something happens in your home country. And forming a U.S. company is putting yourself in a position to pay 0 U.S. taxes. If you're selling in a marketplace like Walmart or Amazon, they collect sales tax. If you're not engaged in U.S. trade or business, don't have effectively connected income on your U.S. sourced income, you may potentially pay no U.S. taxes. Then the conversation becomes, what are the key points you need to consider from your home country to how the income will be received back into your home country and the ownership of your company? These are things we address with different tax attorneys we work with on the U.S. side, and of course we want to be on the same page and provide you the right questions to ask your tax people on your side when you set up a U.S. company. It's important that all these things are aligned properly. If you're going to be selling on Shopify or your own website in the United States, and sales tax comes into play. We've done thousands of sales tax registrations. We work with SALT sales and local tax experts. So when it comes to determining when you have nexus in multiple states and need to get registered for sales tax, we work with the proper partners that can help you in that particular area. So when it comes time to get registered in multiple states for sales tax and have sales tax compliance that's beyond just having online software, we work with multiple partners that can simplify that process for you, which is very different than federal income taxes, which may be something you're not subject to. This requires an evaluation on your situation as you move forward and the amount of U.S. presence you're going to create when working in the United States.